Hey, welcome back to book number 27. This one I give a 6 out of 10, and I love Seth Godin, and it's Poke the Box by Seth Godin, sorry. And I really liked his stuff so far, and this one, I don't know, it just didn't connect with me on the same way, but there was some really cool stuff in it. So I'm going to jump into it a little bit for you. It's broken up into a bunch of different, almost like little fables. It's all these like little tiny stories that there's like a lesson to them or a little question you want to ask yourself. And a few of them really, they kind of struck a nerve or really challenged me. So I'm going to read them to you. Page 51. How did you end up with this job? Almost any time I ask someone that question, they answer with, well, it's a funny story. And it's not usually a funny story. Instead, it's a story that juxtaposes, I do not know how to say that word, a few unlikely breaks with unadorned initiative. Keeps going, and it's talking about Annie Duke. And it's saying, you know what? She didn't get picked to do what she did. She worked hard for it. Annie was broke, living in Montana, and trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Encouraged by her brother, she went to a poker game in Billings. No permit, no permission slip, no connection to the game, and she won $2,000. At this point in most poker careers, the winner takes the money, goes home, and goes back to work. There isn't a career because there isn't persistence. There isn't a career because as soon as there's a big loss, it ends. That didn't happen to Annie Duke. Annie set out to fail often enough to get good. I loved that line. She approached the challenge as a professional would. She studied, budgeted, and failed often. Is there a better way? Probably not. So what in our lives do we stop doing? And I started thinking about that for myself. And so this would be the 6 out of 10 was probably these 2 pages. But what in our lives do we stop doing because we fail, right? So we get to a certain point with it, we fail, and then we give up and we stop trying. Instead of going, no, you know what? Let's actually figure this out and fight through. And so the next section was the person who fails the most usually wins. So going on the whole failure thing. Probably worth unpacking this a little bit. If you fail once and big, you don't fail the most. The game is over, you're a failure, you're busted, you're in jail. But you don't fail the most. If you never fail, either you're really lucky or you haven't shipped anything. But if you succeed often enough to be given the privilege of failing next time, then you're on the road to a series of failures. Fail, succeed, fail, 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 succeed. You get the idea. Talk to any successful person. He'll be happy to fill you in on his long string of failures. I started a record label and failed. I started a fundraising business based on light bulbs and failed. Launched the first aquarium on a VHS tape and failed. Published many books and failed. The winning part, I learned from each of these failures. And that's been really big in my life lately, is when I try to do something and it doesn't go as planned or I feel like I failed at it. It's a learning. That's it. It's something that I'm learning from. It's something that I can take to move on with. So if you're looking for a book that doesn't take a lot of persistence, and what I mean by that is like sitting down and slogging through a lot of information and a lot of words, this is a great book for you. Because it does. That was one whole little story that I just read you, and it's full of a lot of them. So check it out. Seth Godin, Poke the Box.